Please welcome Mike Lynds.
I'm going to go over the technique of a press, the way I kind of believe it should be. Mine is a little unorthodox from the traditional way. Like a lot of people tell you to lock in your lats and lock everything in. I think kind of outside the box a little bit. So when I do it, I try to engage the most out of the chest as possible. And the reason is that is my kind of thought process is trying to engage chest. I'm not trying to engage back. I'm not trying to engage shoulders. So I get in a position where I only feel my chest. So it does take a little bit of an educated eye to get you in that spot. But once you get in there, once you feel that first couple sets of kind of the way I kind of think about it, you'll notice that it's quite engaging, and your chest will get a massive pump. So right off the get-go, when you're looking at a chest, most people like the bar hitting them low. I like it hitting up a little higher on the chest. Again, that's my kind of unorthodox way of thinking about it, but for me, I'm trying to engage all the chest and let my chest do the work instead of pulling down my elbows into the movement. So, and when you get in there, start from the bottom, so preset. So the same as if you're doing a deadlift, you roll it out, you kind of pop the chest up, you lock the shoulders back, push through the hips. Everything's locked and you think about that. Every exercise, no matter if it's triceps, biceps, chest, when you get into it, preset. So get into that where you're feeling it first rep. You're feeling that stretch, you're feeling that squeeze. So you'll notice when I get in, so I am a little wider in my base, so I want to be at 90 degrees with my arms. So I'm getting to where I feel it's just a stretch in my chest, nowhere else. So when I'm pressing up, I'm more so almost pressing my back through the pad. So it's not like I'm pressing it up, I'm pressing the weight away from me, pushing my back through. So as you can tell, when I press up, kind of looks like I'm kind of rocking into it, but it still has that mentality of when I press, I'm pressing away, I'm keeping that chest engaged up. So as soon as I get in there, I'm locking my scapula in back, so my shoulders don't protract in front. So everything's locked out. I'm pushing my sternum towards the chest. Everything's at 90 here, and it's like I'm kind of rocking away from the weight. So I'm presetting my body. So if I start at the top, already my shoulders are out. So instead of starting at the top and kind of letting my shoulders, because then I have to literally drop my shoulder down before I even press it up. Or even if I'm here, my front delt's engaged. So if I start at the bottom at full stretch of my chest, then it's only chest. I'm starting from a point where my chest is already engaged. Same as if I do a lat pull down. When I pull down, I put my shoulder in spot. So I feel a stretch in my lat. I'm engaging my lat before the rep even starts. So it's the same kind of analogy. Why wouldn't you do it on a chest movement as you would in a back movement or a hamstring movement or a quad movement? It's all the same. Every muscle is same kind of philosophy. You need to engage it before you start to use it. So biceps, you stand with a full stretch. You don't stand with it halfway up. It's the same thing. So don't start fully extended, locked out, because your chest is disengaged. Your tricep and your front delt is taking all the work, and then you're letting your chest engage. So don't. For me, the wider grip engages the chest more. So same kind of way I kind of went over legs earlier with you guys on another day. When you come down, you want to be at a 90 degrees. Like if you're doing Bulgarians or anything like that, everything's at 90 degrees. So why wouldn't it be the same on other body parts, on other joints? So when you come into a chest, if you're doing this, everything's kind of in a narrow or less than 90. The one thing that's pushing is your chest is assisting, but you're narrow, like you're coming across. So if I'm at 90, that engages the chest more. So an easy way to look at it is, if you come down with a dumbbell, right? And you come down into a press, and you let that dumbbell touch you in the chest, yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of stretch there, but if you take it off your chest and open yourself up to a 90 degree, guess what? That stretch in your chest is now increased tenfold. So you're starting from a stretch point that you're already engaged the chest. So that right there tells you right off the get-go that you're in a spot where the chest is engaged before you press. So narrowing the grip helps the assisting muscles like the triceps, the delts come in to assist more so than just the chest in my thought process. So sure is going to be a little there that science says I don't give a fuck. This is the way I've always trained. This is the way I've kind of built my chest over the years, and it's always worked for me and the clients that I've shown this to. So it's all about engaging the muscle from point A to point fucking Z of the rep, not fucking starting at G and only going to M. You're not doing anything. So it's all the way through, start to finish. One little thing that I do get asked about is my grip when I press, and this is on all my pressing movements: shoulder press, chest press, incline, and or flat. A lot of people know it as the suicide grip instead of the conventional thumb over top. You'll notice on my bicep day that I do the same thing. I put my thumb underneath. The reason is when you go into a press, so if you look at basically your bone structure, right? So you have your bones in your forearm, and you have your wrist. So if I was to grab it like conventional way, put all my weight on there, you can see that all the weight is on that joint. So to take that away and save stress on your joint, plus to increase your strength, come out here. So now all the weight is through the bone, which is assisting in your movement pattern instead of putting so much stress on your joint. So I'll demonstrate it here. So when you get in, same thing, always preset, get the stretch, but the only difference is I'm putting the bar right across this kind of pad at the bottom. So I put my thumb in like this, kind of do that, and it's right in there. So I can basically do whatever I want with my fingers, but it's cocked right in there. And same thing over here. Pin the thumb, fingers are free, and right up through. So as you can see, if you come from the side here, that everything is through the bones in my forearm. Instead of, if I do this, you see how my wrist is really cocked back, and that just, to me that hurts because I haven't done it so long. But use your skeletal system in a way that's going to assist your movements. So you don't want stress on your joints. That again is detrimental to your movements. You're always going to be thinking, oh, my wrist hurts, or my elbow hurts, or my shoulder hurts. So if you take away those stressors and just concentrate on the form and exactly where you want to feel it, like is your sternum pressed up towards the ceiling? Are you at 90 degrees? Are you shoulders back and scapula retracted? Are you doing all those things? So if you do all those things, first rep, you're locked, everything's there, and then it's just concentrate on pressing. Feeling the stretch, feeling the squeeze. So you're stuck in that movement pattern. You shouldn't have to think about it every single rep if you preset your body rep one. So again, think about it before you get into it. Think about the exercise, think about where you want to exercise, like what muscle you're trying to work, and am I feeling it in that muscle?